Why a prison is a bad idea in a zombie apocalypse. Despite its initial appeal, a prison may actually be one of the worst places to seek shelter in a zombie apocalypse. We'll delve into its perceived advantages and the glaring disadvantages that make it a treacherous choice. There are many walls, and very high, everywhere, we already know that. The safest place you could think of. But even Rick Grimes was wrong about that. This is not the first video in which I analyze a prison, but seeing the impact that the first one had, I wanted to delve deeper into this topic. Imagine you're part of a ragtag group of survivors holed up in a prison during the zombie apocalypse. At first, it feels like a scene straight out of a movie. Tall walls, imposing gates, and watchtowers that scream safe haven. But soon, reality sets in. Prisons, after all, are designed to keep the bad guys in, not to keep a relentless army of undead out. The walls that once seemed like a fortress can start to feel more like a flimsy barrier between you and the ravenous hordes. To defend and maintain this so-called fortress, you'd need a sizable crew. Picture this: at least a dozen people just to cover the main entry points and patrol the perimeter, another handful manning the watchtowers, and several more on standby to handle breaches or unexpected attacks. That's not even counting the folks needed to scavenge for supplies, manage internal security, and take care of daily survival tasks like cooking and first aid. Before you know it, half your group is on constant guard duty, sleep-deprived and on edge, making it harder to stay vigilant and effective. And then there's the noise. Every little sound inside the prison, a dropped pan, a raised voice, or the rumble of a generator, is like ringing a dinner bell for zombies. The initial sense of security crumbles as you realize that the walls weren't designed to withstand a prolonged assault from the outside. The fences start to buckle under the weight of the undead pressing in, and the gates groan with the force of the horde. What once felt like a safe refuge now feels like a ticking time bomb, with every moan and groan outside the walls reminding you that the real threat is not being trapped inside, but what's trying to get in. By the way, we have the goal of reaching 1K subs before September. Subscribe and join the best zombie community. Prisons are like real-life mazes, designed with an intricate web of hallways, locked doors, and dead ends to ensure no one can escape easily. On the bright side, this complexity can work in your favor during a zombie apocalypse. Imagine you and your group using the labyrinthine layout to your advantage, setting up clever traps and bottlenecks to slow down any undead intruders. You become masters of your domain, knowing every shortcut and secret passage, giving you a strategic edge. Plus, it can be quite fun turning the prison into your own tactical playground, where every twist and turn can be a potential trap for the zombies, making their uninvited invasion an adventure in cunning and creativity. However, the downside of this complex layout quickly rears its ugly head in an emergency. Picture a breach in the outer wall. The zombies are pouring in, and you need to escape quickly. Suddenly, the maze-like structure that was your fortress becomes a nightmare. Locked doors that once kept you safe now block your path, and the dead ends turn into deadly traps. Panic sets in as you and your group try to navigate the confusing corridors under pressure, with the groans of the undead growing louder by the second. In these moments, the prison's design isn't just inconvenient, it's downright dangerous, turning a desperate escape into a heart-pounding, high-stakes game where one wrong turn could be your last. Alright, so you and your crew decide to make a beeline for the local prison, thinking it's the ultimate stronghold in a zombie apocalypse. But hold your horses, because what you find behind those iron gates is anyone's guess. Option 1. You walk in, and it's a scene straight out of a horror movie. The inmates didn't just disappear, they turned into zombies. Now you're not only dealing with run-of-the-mill undead, but ones that were probably the toughest guys around. Think about it. Zombie bodybuilders, zombie gang leaders, and zombie tattoo artists, all ready to turn you into their next meal. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet, and you're the main course. Option 2 isn't much better. You might stumble upon a prison still teeming with human prisoners who have somehow avoided turning into zombies, but now you've got a whole different set of problems. These folks might not be too thrilled to see you, especially if they think you are here to steal their supplies, or worse, to try to take over. Imagine negotiating your way through a prison where everyone's got a past and a penchant for survival. It's like trying to form an alliance with a group of distrustful, potentially dangerous strangers who might see you as more of a threat than the zombies outside. Sure, you could try to make friends, but it's a high-stakes game of diplomacy where one wrong move could land you in solitary confinement, or worse. Then there's option 3, the fairy tale of the zombie apocalypse world. You get there, and it's completely empty. The gates are open, the cells are vacant, and not a single soul, dead or alive, is in sight. Jackpot! You've just found the ultimate fortress, stocked with everything you need and no competition. It's like winning the lottery on the worst day ever. You and your group can set up a safe haven, use the prison's facilities to your advantage, and fortify it even more without any immediate threats. It's almost too good to be true, and you might start wondering if you've actually stumbled into a trap. But for now, you enjoy the rare stroke of luck in a world gone mad, because who knows when the next twist in this zombie saga will hit. We all know the good things that entrenching yourself in a prison brings, but the bad things may outweigh. Without a doubt, there are better places in which to survive the zombie apocalypse, and even more so if you are in a small group. I would still like to know your opinion in the comments. What else would you like me to analyze?